guys, welcome back to Medical Coding with Blue. Today's episode is all about resume and cover letter tips for brand new medical coders with no experience. If you are brand new to my channel, welcome. I am Blue, I'm a medical coder, and today we are just going to start diving right into it. I am going to be leaving the links for some very good articles about cover letters down in the description box below. Now, I will say this also. I will be doing more of these resume tip videos because I think to put it all into one episode is going to be too much. So today I'm going to start talking about the cover letter, in which most people either don't have this or they don't really know of its importance. But having a really good cover letter is key, because this cover letter, aside from a really good resume, is really going to reveal a lot more about your personality and what your temperament is like. Basically, like, how excited are you about getting this position? Nobody wants a ho-hum like type of cover letter. You need to have a really good and creative cover letter. Now, before you get overwhelmed with this, there are many different websites. Like I said, the ones that I'm going to be leaving down in the description box below are very good for inspiration. And it is very good to be inspired because everybody has a different set of skills, right? Everybody's had different experiences and different things to happen to them. So because of this, it is important to know what your strengths are. Start by making a list of all the things that you've done in your job positions. Now, of course, being brand new with no experience, okay, well, how do I get a job in medical coding? Everybody wants experience. There are things called transferable skills, okay? You have your soft transferable skills and you have your hard transferable skills. The soft transferable skills are the ones that everybody can have. And you can transfer those to any type of position, whether you're multitasking or whether you are doing problem solving, flexibility, really good communication, things like that. So those are some examples of soft skills that everybody has, but a lot of people don't highlight about themselves, okay? Then you have your hard skills, which are specific to the job at hand, whatever job position that you're applying for. But starting with that really good cover letter is really going to help you. And before you say, well, I'm not really a good writer, this is something that you need to get used to. Because as a medical coder, you are going to need to communicate with these providers. And sometimes it's going to be by email. So you better get used to it now, because if you don't want to be sending a letter to a provider, like a query, or maybe you're informing them about like a new education that's coming out. You don't want to send them something that's not going to make sense or doesn't sound right or doesn't sound professional. So get used to doing writing now. And this cover letter is a good place to start. Even if you are still in school, it's okay, because this is going to give you that practice. Get practice now. And if you say, well, I don't like writing, you need to get that out of your head, because it's going to be a part of your daily life. You need to do that. I've seen coders at my workplace not be taken seriously because of the way that they wrote their query or the way that they wrote the education when they were sending it to the provider. And they didn't understand why. So they brought it to me and they were like, well, I don't understand why they're not listening. And I'm looking at what they wrote. And again, it goes back to having really good writing skills. We have so many things at our disposal to help us to write. And like I said, those websites that I'm going to be leaving is really great inspiration. So if we have all of these tools available to us, there is really no excuse to not write something really creative, okay? Or to not write something really professional sounding. Anybody can write anything that's professional sounding. You just have to apply yourself, okay? So some of the things that you should know about cover letters that came from some of these articles is you have to know the name of the person that is hiring. If you don't know the name of the person that is hiring, try to see if you can find out, okay? So that way you're not saying dear sir or ma'am. Saying dear sir or ma'am on a cover letter is very form sounding. If you say, well, I saw your ad for this position and I've attached my resume and I'm sorry, but I don't have any experience. No, you never apologize and you never mention the fact that you don't have experience. That's number one. You never, ever apologize for not having experience. Everybody had to start brand new somewhere, right? And because they have to start brand new somewhere, Everybody has that first job. But you don't need to highlight that you don't have any experience. They already know by looking at your resume, well, this person's never worked in the medical coding or billing field before. So this is going to be a brand new person. You need to highlight your strengths. You need to highlight the things that you learned while you were in school. You need to highlight the things that you've experienced in your past that is going to bring a gift that is you to this company for them to benefit from. They need to know, how are they going to benefit by hiring you? What are you bringing to them? Okay. So you have to try to find out the name of the person that's hiring. And when you do that, that's showing initiative, right? It's showing initiative because you are doing a custom letter for every place that you're applying. And again, if you say, well, I don't really want to do that, these are the things that are going to get noticed. Do you know why? Because these are the things that are very detail oriented and very specific. These people have 50 to 100 people applying for these positions, and every single one of them sounding the same, because everybody has it sort of, oh, well, I'm just going to blanket a bunch of places and then just hope somebody bites. You need to stand out. And once you stand out, it's going to be a lot quicker for you to start getting those callbacks, because you're having more detail and they're seeing that, oh, this is an individual. It's not like somebody like everybody else who copied from a resume book or who copied from other coders' resumes, which is another thing that I will say this as well. If you are trying to hire somebody to do your cover letter and your resume, and you want somebody else a professional to write these out for you, here's the thing. They're not going to know what your skills, the full scope of your skills. The only person that knows the full scope of your skills is you. And yes, while you may say, yes, I do have some of these skills or whatever, what have you, what the hiring people are looking at is what is on that resume, what is on that cover letter. You need to match what is on that resume and that cover letter. Because if you get in there and maybe your speech is not as eloquent as whoever wrote your cover letter and whoever wrote your resume, they're going to know that you paid somebody to write this resume and you paid somebody to write this cover letter. So there's a good chance that you don't possess everything. Because of course, a person who's doing this professionally is going to put you in the best possible light that they can. But if you don't possess all of these skills, and I'm not saying that these people who write these are putting fake skills on there, I'm sure they're not. But at the same time, they're not going to write the same way that you write. So you really do need to think about that. Now, I have successfully written my own cover letter and resumes. And every time I've been told, well, yours really stood out because of this X, Y, and Z. Now, I don't want to bring it on here because, again, I don't want people to think, okay, well, let me just copy this and try to get it in that way. You need to do it for yourselves. You need to think about all of your skills, because I'm sure there's better writers that could have done a better job of writing my resume. But my resume and my cover letter came from me. And this is what I'm telling them. This is what you're going to get with me, basically, in this cover letter and in the resume. And I'm telling them, these are all of my gifts, and this is what I can bring to you. You need to do the same, and you can. You just have to apply yourself. It is all about applying yourself. Unfortunately, sometimes when in schools, people are not taught these things, and that's why they have classes on how to write resumes and things like that. Get creative with words. Using the internet as a way to find resources on how to write a really good one will help you in your quest to write a really good one. And I'm going to read a couple of these cover letters that I thought were super cute, but not so that you guys can write your cover letters like this, but I want you to see the energy and the creativity that makes these particular cover letters really stand out. And I want to talk about these, okay? So again, I'm going to be leaving these direct links for these if you want to re-review them again. This one came from BuzzFeed. And yes, I know about BuzzFeed. But they had this really cute one. So this one was for... No, I don't want to read that one first. I want to read this other one first. So this one, it came from this website called The Muse. And this is talking about how this lady wanted to work at a place where they made dog food, right? And so she was writing her cover letter from the perspective of her dog. So her dog was basically speaking on her behalf. Now, I'm not saying that medical coders or medical billers and coders should do this, but again, we're going to talk about how this cover letter would stand out and how you can use that as inspiration for yours. So this is the cover letter. So it says, "Dear human," okay? So again, it's addressing somebody, but from a dog's perspective. So they would say human. "Dear human," or "Hello human, my name is Cooper and I'm a 10-year-old Schnauzer from New York. I'm writing to tell you why my sister, Miss Levy, is right for the brand content producer role at the Farmer's Dog. Sarah graduated from Brown University in 2012 with a BA in literary arts. I was there, and has worked as a writer and social media strategist. She loves me more than anything in this world and keeps telling me how excited she is about this opportunity. A small, driven team that is passionate about pet and wellness food sounds like a dream, like a lifetime supply of peanut butter and apples." So right away in this cover letter, it's doing something that is unconventional, okay? And yeah, they're taking a chance on this one, but they're identifying the position that they want, right? She wants to be a brand content producer role at the Farmer's Dog. So that's already telling them, and that's how you should start your cover letter. Is it, what position do you want to apply for? What is your resume going to say, right? But your cover letter is introducing this, okay? And moving on. It says, "When Sarah isn't walking me or giving me mini head massages, she's thinking about the best ways to communicate ideas and tell stories. She has created content for a variety of brands such as TED Conferences, Girl Rising, 305 Fitness, The Huffington Post, and Bustle. As a social media contractor for TED Conferences, she managed all strategy and content creation for LinkedIn and worked with the design team to create engaging copy for Instagram images. In embodying the TED voice, she conveyed scientific and abstract concepts in a way that was accessible to readers. She has worked with the editorial team to create headlines for new talks, schedule upcoming blogs, and write scripts for original Facebook videos. In addition to her professional work as a writer, Sarah has a deep passion for educating others. As an undergraduate, Sarah was involved in Brown's Office of College Admissions and volunteered as a peer academic advisor, information session leader, and campus tour guide. In these roles, she not only walked backwards and memorized 20 pages of historical facts, but also made a genuine effort to get to know everyone in her group and provide them with individualized experiences tailored to their educational interests. Sarah's love of educating prospective students and families led her to serve on the Office of Administration's Student Executive Board as a junior. Sarah really wants to talk to you about this opportunity. If you don't email her to further discuss her interests or qualifications, she's going to keep talking to me about it. And I really need to play. Thanks for your time, and woof, Cooper Levy. How cute is this? So in this, she was very creative with her approach to grabbing their attention, right? And so she's saying this is a perspective of the consumer of this product with the Farmer's Dog, a dog, right? And so she's already showing her creativity side and her attention to detail, okay? And when it's saying that when she's not doing that, when she's not walking the dog, okay, she's saying that she's done all of these things. She's listed them out in specifics. So that's another thing too to think about. When you are talking about specifics in your resume, do not use broad or blanket terms. I worked with many people. I supervised many people. No, you need to give specifics. I worked with 50 employees and I managed 20 of them. We oversaw projects with 6-week deadlines, and we completed them at 95%. Give really specific statistics, all right? And in this letter, this lady is saying that she had done these specific, worked with these specific brands, and what she had done for them, and how she had come up with different ideas and things like that. But she also talked about her education and what she did as far as like working with others and working with the students and things. And so being very specific like this is what you should be looking at. Now, if you're coming in from, let's say, from working in retail and you're going into medical coding, think about this. You worked in retail, right? So you have had the experience of working with many different cultures of people. Anybody will tell you that's worked in retail. Oh gosh, yes, I've worked with so many different kinds of people, and I worked at a clothing store, but you know, we had many different age ranges of people. We had many different cultures. So you're familiar with working and being sensitive to different cultures. Okay. Did you work through what is it? Black Friday? And that is showing that you are able to multitask in a very hectic situation. And now, yes, we are in the middle of a pandemic right now, but it does show when you say these kinds of things. This is a soft skill that you're able to be effective in being an effective communicator during a very hectic time. And so highlighting some of these things and just sort of bringing to light all the things that you've done in the past that could benefit this place. Because when you're looking at these job listings for medical coders, it's going to tell you what they're looking for. And a lot of times they'll say, we're looking for team players. We are looking for people who are excited to come to work. We are looking for people who are willing to work in hectic environments. Right there, it tells you. I worked in retail, and we did, we worked during Black Friday, and we worked with all these customers, and I was able to mitigate, you know, different situations that came up, or if there was a disagreement, I was able to handle that, or I was able to, what is the word I'm looking for? Basically that you were able to handle anything that came at you. Okay. And so those are the things that you need to highlight. And see, having sort of read something like this and then thinking, okay, how does this translate to being a medical coder? If you're experienced with working with deadlines, if you are experienced with working with the public, you have really good customer service. That's what I was thinking of. Customer service skills. Those are the things that they need to see. But being like a plain and just sort of blanket form letter looking thing, they're going to know. So look at the things specific to that facility. And in that, remember I told you guys before on some other videos that if you haven't had experience yet, you can look at whatever electronic health record, because a lot of times they'll tell you what electronic health record they use. And let's say, for example, they use Epic, because Epic is one of the biggest, okay? And if they say, well, we use Epic Experience Preferred, you can go to YouTube, watch the tutorial videos, and put that in your cover letter. I have been watching Epic tutorial videos on YouTube. I find this very fascinating, and I can't wait to engage what I have learned. Boom. This is a brand new person. Yeah, this is a brand new person. And they took the time to look on YouTube, to look at a tutorial video about Epic. This is somebody that wants to work. This is somebody that's excited to work. Let's get him in here. Let's talk to him. Well, I'm familiar with working with difficult personalities because we served a very demanding group of people. Again, problem solver, right? Problem solver, and somebody that can work with people, work with all kinds of people, all different walks of life. So if you've ever worked in food service, you know what I'm saying. You've had some demanding customers, and I've had some demanding customers before myself. So that is something that you can highlight. That is a soft skill that a lot of times when these people are looking for coders, they're willing to look at that too. So that is something to look at. right? Get excited about it and show your enthusiasm on here. Don't ever apologize. Don't ever have a defeatist attitude. Don't be negative in any way, okay? And don't ever highlight that you don't have experience. They know that, okay? Don't tell them stuff that they already know. Show them who you are, because you got about a minute of their attention before it's like, okay, this looks like a form letter. Next, form letter. Next, form letter. Next. Oh, we got a good one here. This is interesting. You got to think about it like that. And let me read this other one because I don't want to run out of time. Oh, I got 20 minutes, so I don't know. Let's see. Okay. So this other one was, again, it's showing that you address the person that find out whoever is doing the hiring, okay? And so in this was the one from BuzzFeed. And this one was the person who wants to be a coach, but does not have any experience coaching yet, okay? So the person writes, "Dear Mr. Fajan, I would like to express to you my interest in your now open position for head coach of football at the University of North Dakota." So already it's telling you what position are they looking for, okay? "Currently, I'm working in IT at a college in West Virginia, but I have had many years of experience with football, starting with attending my first Marshall University football game when I was 3 years old." See? Charming. "In the past 30 years, I have only missed a handful of Marshall's home games, attended many road games, and all of their bowl games. All the while, I played various football games, including Madden on Sega Genesis, and I completely dominated the Bills with Thurman Thomas. Seriously, he was a beast in the game, or was he a beast because I was the football genius controlling him? I then moved on to PlayStation gaming system and purchased the NCAA football every year and put together several programs that completely dominated the recruiting scene and college football, winning several national titles with Marshall University. I took them to a decent Mid-American Conference school on the game to a perennial national power that makes Nick Saban look like a chump. One year, my third-string quarterback left school early to enter the NFL draft, and he was a first-round pick. Boom. My football philosophy is basically an attacking one. We are going to give air raid a whole new definition. Theoretically, how many times do you think a team can pass in a game? Challenge accepted. We are going 5 wide, chucking the pigskin all over the place, never punt. Oh, outside every time. Chip Kelly will be calling me to learn my offense. We will put an exciting brand of football. We will pack them into the Alaris, I don't know if I said the right, center, night in and night out. Go ahead and blow the roof off that place and add about 35,000 seats to that place. I would love to speak with you further regarding this opening and what I can bring to UND, putting UND back on the national map and taking on NDSUR, and then he put a star. Attached in this email, you will find a PowerPoint for more information. Thanks, Christopher McComas. P.S. I prefer Coke to Pepsi, so go ahead and fill up that fridge in the head coach's office with Coke. So this is saying that this person doesn't have any experience, but they've always done it in their life, and they really enjoy it. And now if they have the chance, this is what they would do. This is what they would bring. This is the energy that they're going to bring, and they're going to do this. And they've had all of these plans, and this is what they've done, because strategically and creatively, he's thinking, how can I show myself in the best possible light? I don't have experience, but that's not stopping him. And so it should not stop you. Think about how you're going to write your cover letter, and write one for every single place that you apply. So that way you can show that each one of them is individual. And yeah, you can put some chunks in here and there, throughout, but don't make every single cover letter the same for all the places that you apply. Show yourself and be creative and be an individual, because believe me, you're going to want to stand out in a crowd of all of these medical coders. All right, I'm going to wrap this one up. I will be back for more tips next week about like different points in your resume. But I thought we'd start off with the cover letters. So start practicing your cover letter today. All right, so if you are a medical coder, a medical coding student, somebody curious about the fascinating world of medical coding, a provider, or a nurse, I invite you to like and subscribe and follow me on my journey in medical coding. I will see y'all next time. Bye!